5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Daddy, opener.
Detective Jefferson, can I help you?
I'll call you back. Hey, relax, man. I got half of Bolivia sitting in the suitcases over here. Ain't been cut yet. Go ahead, take it. Cheers.
I only temper.
I'll talk to you later, sweetie. Okay? Bye.
Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made. An experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host, development scientist, Rob Scucci, and Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we doing this good movie episode? Leon, the professional.
Oh, I'm doing great, Chris. We are doing Leon the Professional, a really good movie. Not better than Y2K, but just by like a thin margin.
That's so funny you say that. That's so funny you say that. Remember that. I
thoroughly enjoyed this. It was fun. It was action-packed. That opening scene we just played was the opening to the movie. And I normally hate it when like it just gets in like when it kind of just like has a scene that seems inconsequential, but it establishes the titular eponymous character like perfectly. And this movie's got a very bare bones plot. It leaves little to the imagination, so you don't need a bunch of other bullshit. You could just kind of like just lean into the characters, which is why I think it's a great movie. Bob, how are you? Would you like to describe this?
I totally agree, and I'm curious what you guys deducted from 100% because I think this is as near a perfect a movie it can be. And I was fortunate enough to see this at its first run when it was billed as The Professional when it first came to theaters in America, and is now Leon the Professional, which is cool. So yeah, I'm ready to explain it, which will be succinct.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do the explanation. Here we go.
Mexican guy says to the black guy, I'm gonna give you $10, you can buy me some beer, I'm gonna loan you my car. The black guy borrows his car, goes to supposedly buy him some beer, and all of a sudden, he gets out of the car for some reason, and somebody hits him on the head.
The best explanation.
Okay.
All right. Long alliteration, even though it's a good movie. Here we go.
Okay, got it.
A hermit hitman who's helpful and humble is hired by a hopeful half-pint to harm the hostile, heartless, and hypocritical henchmen who hurt her homeboy.
Wow.
Can you repeat that after half-pint?
Oh, yeah. Hired by a hopeful half-pint to harm the hostile, heartless, and hypocritical henchmen who hurt her homeboy.
All right.
That might be longer than my explanation.
Right. A hermit hitman who's helpful and humble is hired by a hopeful half-pint to harm the hostile, heartless, and hypocritical henchmen who hurt her homeboy.
Yes.
I got a little lag, and I couldn't keep up with the words, but we got it now. We got him.
So
guys.
Leon
half-pint being the best word there.
Yes.
Leon is a professional hitman, referring to himself as a cleaner. And Matilda, this young girl, lives in his building, and her family is slaughtered by the police because her dad was cutting drugs that the police were dealing. So they're crooked. They kill Matilda's little brother. And Matilda ends up hiding out with Leon because he's her neighbor. She ends up hiring Leon to find and kill those responsible. Along the way, he also trains her to become a cleaner too. It all ends tragically and beautifully with justice pretty much being served on all fronts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Tightly written.
It's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to test. Let's throw it to the best YouTube comment.
Yeah, we got. Is there a best? Do we have a best one for that? Or no, it's just the regular one. Okay. It's always we do these so infrequently that I always forget.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything.
After reading these YouTube comments. All right. A truly unforgettable masterpiece and touching film with such a perfect cast of the underrated Jean Reno, Natalie Portman, Gary Oldman, and so many others. It literally created a film that was perfect with such a strong emotional, action-packed storyline, and what a soundtrack. Honestly, one of the very few films that you could truly say has no flaws, and one that everyone can agree is perfect. With such a low budget to work with, created a true masterpiece, a film that'll never be forgotten. And I agree with that. But they said the thing that I'm going to disagree with, which is what the only thing I deducted points from for this movie. And I understand it's kind of integral to the movie's plot. All the classical music. This is one of those movies that could have had a really cool, just like drum and bass shit in the background, or or like some like house
we'll talk
music.
more about
or,
the soundtrack.
Yeah, but that's just me being nitpicky. But like during some of the badass scenes, I just wanted to hear something like, you know, I just wanted to hear that like in the background, like fading up. But I did. That's just me like anachronistically looking at it. But that's the one thing about.
But it goes to the one major character, obviously.
Yeah, because he likes listening to the symphony, all that. Yeah, so I understand why they chose that stylistically. But that's actually in the director's history of filmmaking. He always leans Mozart. Yeah, and the scenes that weren't with Gary Oldman though, I wish they would have like deviated from that a little bit. But that's just me nitpicking. Otherwise, I think it's a perfect. The end.
I did like so one of the pieces of the soundtrack that I enjoyed the most is when you're first meeting Matilda, and you're like coming up the stairs with Leon. The camera is. And they have the soundtrack blurs into like a very like Rugrats toddler kind of sound to introduce her, which I thought was really well done, because at the beginning of the movie you want to think of her as like a 10-year-old. Yeah. And you know, so like, but the further the movie goes along, the more mature and adult she seems. Which is one of the themes of the movie that's like kind of uncomfortable, but done like super tastefully and well, I thought. Yeah. But yeah, the soundtrack really lended itself to what they were trying to do. But yeah, Rob, a little basic going for composers for the crazy guy. You know, like it makes him super intelligent. Like the guy in Twister who's listening to classical music is the smart one, and in Boondock Saints a little later than this movie, I think they steal Willem Dafoe loves the classical music, even though he's like kind of crazy, just to show that he's brilliant.
There you go. It's now you just mentioned two bad movies, so now we're back on brand. Good job.
Yeah, fair.
Boondock Saints is kind of bad. Yeah.
It sucks.
I fucking loved it though, you know, growing up. So it still has a place in my heart. Anyway, let's throw it to Ain't That a Pitch?
Test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
It's my turn, I think, right?
Yeah.
Right. Leon is a cleaner who drinks lots of milk. He kills for the money and not for the thrills. Matilda comes knocking after Stan feels daddy dropping. I gotta know what's in those green and yellow pills.
Yeah, me too.
That's good.
All right.
Got a guy you need whacked? Leon'll do it in a jiffy. On being a lover dad, he's a little more iffy. Gary Oldman, so good. It gave me wood. Ever so slightly more tumescent than Rob's Y2K stiffy.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Norman Mansfield is a narcotics cop obsessed with Mozart, though he's a drug-dealing crooked pig with no heart. Leon trains Matilda to shoot strangers and sacrifices himself to keep her from danger. Compared to this film, Forrest Gump is considered low art. Sorry, it won the Oscar that year, and so many other movies were better. This one being one of them.
This was definitely better.
Yeah.
I like Forrest Gump, but this was better.
Yeah, I have moments of enjoyment with Forrest Gump too. It's just the length of it.
You should. You know? I know, it's crazy long.
I don't know. We don't really compete on these. Team 5.
Yeah, was it, man?
We all touched on different flavor points.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the yellow pills, because that was always one of my favorite scenes, is seeing him prep for that raid.
I've got a theory about that.
Don't mention any more. Don't mention any more.
Yeah. I have a theory about that. I'll bring it up in the catch-all. I'm just writing pill theory. Okay, cool.
Yeah, pill theory. Pill theory will come back.
All right.
Got it.
Well, we'll see how long from now in test number 2 what works well.
That's over here. Good movie. What we're. Uh-oh.
Test number 3. What works
I gotta
well?
update the scene.
Fucking Garage Band. I gotta update these bumpers.
Nah, these are
Garage
great.
Band shit is awful.
Speaking of bumpers, I just got my headphone thing fixed, so I'll get sound clips out this week.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, for what was the Travolta one we did? Life on the Line, which you can listen to at www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
Man,
It's our
it was
best
really
one.
bad. Really bad movie. We'll see how our next movie stacks up against it. I already know what it is, but I won't tell anyone until the end of the episode when we go to our poll results.
I saw the poll. I already downloaded the movie.
Nice.
Sweet. Well, find out what movie that is at the end of the episode. Let's go to number
5.
Okay. Let's get into some good damn he's gooding, because we've seen a lot of bad damn he's gooding, from the Seagulls to the JCVDs to you know, those types. Let's see some good damn he's gooding with somebody serious.
Oh, that's the clip, right? Okay, so let's go to here, Liam. Okay.
Yeah, what?
It's Tonto downstairs. There's a guy who wants to talk to you.
What's he look like?
Serious.
Tell him I'm coming up.
He's coming up.
Somebody's coming up. Somebody's serious.
He said the thing that the clip was named after.
Yeah. I mean, immediate badass vibes, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I could be a longer clip, including this 8-9 minutes. So cool. I mean, some of it was in our opener, though. So if you're curious, those kind of connect. Leon just like kills everybody and then comes out of the dark and puts a knife up to the big guy's neck, and does the whole opener bit. But immediately you're like,
you know why it's
that is a
effective?
good hitman.
It's effective
Why is
because it's not a bunch of people sitting around a control room or in a helicopter explaining why he's so good. It's just he looks
Right.
serious. I'm afraid because they told me someone serious is coming up, and then he does something serious. It's just like no fat. There's zero fat in this movie.
And they don't make the bad guys buffoons either. Like in a lot of these JCVD Seagal movies where they're damn so good, like the henchmen are just awful at what they do,
Yeah.
But
these guys are good.
are
He's
pretty
just
well,
better.
yeah, right. They're pretty well organized, and they've got all the exits blocked, and they've got cameras, and they've got walkie talkies and shit.
Like if they were a band, they'd be called Ezra, and then Leon would be better than Ezra.
Cheap. But I don't want to jump ahead, but the fact that he can flip down in a door jam and then flip back up, they show him doing the ab workout.
Exactly.
Like they explain that instead of him just being superhuman, he really works at it. Like,
They show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that detail.
Yeah, that particular detail. Good point. Let's go to number
3.
Oh.
4.
4.
Sleeping Seated.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a good sleep with one eye open kind of detail that makes him more hitman-y,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it really does. Like it makes you wonder, like, could I do that? Do you think you guys could do that?
No. I'd slump forward and fall.
I can, I can, but I'm not gonna wake up at the drop of a dime. Like when I'm like in my kid's room, like after like a rough night, I fall asleep in like that rocking chair. But then I wake up like an hour later, like with drool all over myself and like my neck on fire. So
yeah, right. But your neck on fire. The way that they have Leon set up though is like he would hear the creak of the third stair on the first floor, and he's on the fourth.
Yeah,
and he'd already be like up in the ceiling, ready to ab his way down to death somebody.
The ab blaster.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that sentence?
Let's go to number
3.
Now it's number 3. Okay.
I wanted, like, inspired by Bob, I wanted more alliteration than this, but sibling crime scene, very effective.
Crime
Very
or
effective.
crying?
Crime scene.
All right.
So not only do you have to kind of like watch a 5-year-old get gunned down, which is really hard to do when you have kids, but we have to revisit when Matilda goes back to get her stuffy or whatever, but really to see the scene where her brother's murdered.
Yeah.
And they have a chalk outline.
Yeah.
And she can't really handle like this size, and it's good for the viewing audience too. Like the size of the chalk outline is disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought that was a really nice touch, and it makes you feel for her, even though she's like turning into like a cutthroat little punk. Like you feel bad because she's only 14 or whatever. Let's go to number
2.
Okay, so this is less a choice like inside the movie, but of the movie in general. Spot on selection of cinema superstars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the casting is fantastic.
It really is.
Well, let me ask you this. When did why did I forget Gary I can't. Well, yeah, I was about to say Coleman, like the little black dude. What you talking about?
Yeah.
What?
Right.
When did he like really become like a household name? Because this predates that, right? So he's like relatively unknown, but like he's
No, he was already famous.
He's not like was he a household name at that point though?
I'm
Or was he
wondering
just, like,
that
just to
Well,
cinephiles.
Okay, let me rephrase. Yeah, he wasn't a household name to the popular viewing audience, but he did Sid and Nancy. That was a hugely famous movie.
Yeah, okay.
I want to say True Romance came before this, right?
Yeah, and
so.
he's Drexel or whatever.
All right.
He was very busy. He was in a lot of movies, but think of it: True Romance, Sid and Nancy, Professional. They aren't blockbusters, you know.
Yeah, they're like art,
No,
not
they're
art
not.
house, but like they're the next closest thing as far as like
And
reach.
they're the next popular movie. Like Tarantino became super famous, then it became mainstream.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, he wasn't a household name, but he was very busy and had a lot of cred.
So it's like a bunch of people that were like about to fucking blow like at this point in their career,
Yeah.
but like they weren't quite at the cusp yet. So
Right.
that's what I like because like you don't, especially at the time it came out, like you're not gonna like be taken out of the movie because you recognize the actor, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess-
obviously, yeah, like Gary Oldman goes on to do Fifth Element, just like
And
a
Tiptoes.
couple years after this, and Tiptoes. So he's not Gary Coleman; he's the other small guy in Tiptoes, Gary Oldman. But Natalie Portman goes on to be Natalie Portman, obviously, and then Jean Reno goes on to do Godzilla with Matthew Broderick, which was a huge blockbuster. But also, he was in, I think he's in Mission Impossible. I don't know if this was, I think it was slightly a year after this. But he's also in, what was the other one? The Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks, like a little while after that, too. Like, I mean, he really blew up. So
really busy guy, yeah.
Yeah. So let's throw it to another clip. This is the last of What Works Well. This one we kind of already discussed, but I'm going to open this up a little more with Symphony.
One.
I'm not gonna do the Tears for Fears. I'm tired of it, so we're just gonna go straight into.
Thank God.
I like these calm little moments before the storm. It reminds me of Beethoven. Can you hear it? It's like when you put your head to the grass, you can hear it growing. You can hear the insects. Do you like Beethoven? Couldn't really say. I'm gonna play you some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes in and annihilates the whole family. Yeah, this is the drug conversation that we kind of already mentioned, they do the drug, scene early, right? That the first one where he cracks it, and only Gary Oldman and Daniel Day-Lewis could do what he does there with the whole like shutter shit he does that makes it seem like he just took some hardcore drug that makes him like okay with murdering children.
Yeah.
But you don't see the drug again until later, like much later.
Third act, like before the final showdown, right?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Right. It's not like other movies where he would have done it 7 times by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Or what movie do we see when someone took pills and it never showed up again? I forget. I forget.
It was Wicker Man.
Was that?
No, he took a lot of those. He took a lot of them during the middle.
But he did them again. Yeah. Shit, I just lost.
It was another one, but I forget which one it was.
Yeah.
I think it might have been
Was
the other case.
X versus Sever?
No, wasn't it the
Yeah,
other
I think it was X versus Sever because I think it was Sever. But Antonio Banderas takes like drugs in the beginning, and then he just like he goes out into the rain or whatever and never does drugs again.
They were too busy being really bad with the continuity and how far the cherry on a cigarette was supposed to fucking be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might. I think it was that one. Let's throw it to your ad read, Rob.
Yeah. Purple sticky punch. Illegal.
I'm gonna miss this one.
Purple sticky punch. Illegal. Purple sticky punch.
Rob's ad read.
This one's really dumb because I couldn't get over it. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by milk. Nothing quite like a nice piping hot glass of milk after a long day in the killing fields. That's milk with a capital M for all you dairy deprived whores out there. Got milk? We do. Your store has it, and you can drink it by the quart after murdering somebody for money. That's milk for you. Milk.
Nice. Okay, thank you so much. What was it again?
Milk.
Okay, milk. Yeah, thank you. Milk. Thank you, Milk, for joining us here on the Worst Movie Ever Made, Best Movie episode. We very much appreciate you teaming up. Let's throw it to test number 3. This is the best dialogue.
Test number 4. The best dialogue.
Nice edit.
Yeah, thank you.
This is number
5.
Shots fired.
What's happening out there?
All right, man, going. DEA, police.
Why don't you leave that poor family alone?
Stuff, right? Everything's all right. Just calm down. I am calm. I'm calm.
Why don't you leave them alone?
He said, go back inside. Stan, I think it's better if we go inside, all right?
Yeah.
There's some of that soundtrack. It sounds like a James Bond level in like the 007 video game or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it may be a little cheap to do the old lady humor thing, but like they have good moments of genuine humor in this movie, like that.
You know what though? It establishes how much of a psychopath he is early on. So
yeah, and that they're cops. I think we find out just then.
It says DEA. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
They need to say that.
Yeah, and then you're like, what? Did he just say we're cops? Like, good move, I guess, to the old lady, but they actually are. All right, let's throw it to number 4. This is Sip.
I want you to teach me how to be like you. How to be strong like you, smart like you.
Matilda.
I know I'm not strong enough yet. But I could learn the basics. The theory. What do you think? Just the theory. I need this, Leon. I need time to get my head together.
Yeah, and I need. A drink.
Of milk.
Well done, Rob. Good editing.
Thank you.
Just the theory. I love that she's like, can you just introduce me to like what a fucking
like she's learning guitar and she wants to learn the theory, not the technique.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So smart to open it that way. Love that. But also I wanted to know what you guys thought of when Leon is like, and I need long pause. What does he need? Is he gonna say a woman, but realizes he shouldn't fucking say that in front of her?
Yeah.
What was he gonna say?
I don't know. 'Cause I never got that vibe from him because he's pretty paternal.
I know,
throughout
but like
most of it,
little bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
He's also very this isn't going to come up later. He made an intentional choice to play him a little bit of a simpleton. Like he knows his job really well, but doesn't know a whole lot of else. And you can see that when he watches Gene Kelly. You can see that when he's playing games with her. Like he's not a smart guy, so he doesn't know what he's going to say. He's just like he doesn't know what to say to her. That's the right thing to say. So he's stumbling.
Yeah.
That's Bob giving this movie the right amount of credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have a button for that. But if we did, I'd hit the wrong one.
Let's throw it to number 3. Oh, man. I was begging for a 2 or something after you said that.
Nah, I couldn't. That'd be too obvious. That's food on the table, man. Yeah.
No, I wanted you to make a mistake. It would have been really funny.
I know.
Shopping.
Is life always this hard? Just when you're a kid.
Always like this. Keep it.
Hey, I'm going grocery shopping. You want some milk? 1 quart or 2? It's 2, right?
Fuck the police.
I wasn't looking. I'm pretty sure Bob didn't actually say that.
No, I was actually drinking water, so it looked like I was a ventriloquist.
Oh.
That's clear milk, by the way.
Now do it while singing. Yeah.
Life is always like this.
Yeah.
Fucking just a really cool line that he would deliver that to a kid like that. Squash her hopes, but like be real with her because life does suck. Let's be honest,
Dude,
guys.
it's shit from wall to wall every day. Yeah.
I'm gonna say 2 things. One, Rob said it already. There's no fat. Like they just get right to it.
Yeah.
Second, as a teacher, when you are honest with a kid, they immediately connect with you.
Yeah.
They're like, I trust this person. Hey, can I go get your milk?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that kind of thing. I think it's just. And by the way, she's 12 in the movie. That's what she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, she's supposed to be 12, not 14.
So that would make her like a 6th grader, and that would make sense. A smart 6th grader.
For the honesty too, it's like go to a restaurant and you ask your server what their least favorite item on the menu is, and that establishes trust because like they're willing to tell you that there's something they don't like that they're offering to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At a place like Olive Garden, not that I ever worked there or anything, because I definitely don't know every secret that they have.
Yeah.
But what the servers learn to do is to say that they are personally opposed to it for what could be several reasons. From allergies to just personal dislike that started as a child. So you don't disparage the quality of the dish on offer, but by saying like, oh well, me, I almost choked on a mozzarella stick when I was 7.
vegan.
I never really wanted one again. If they didn't like the mozzarella sticks or something. Yeah, exactly. Right. Anyway, miss you guys. If anyone's listening. But I do love my new job. Let's throw it to number 2. This is Savior.
I've decided what to do with my life. I want to be a cleaner.
Want to be a cleaner? Here. Take it. It's a goodbye gift. Go clean. But not with me. I work alone. Understand? Alone.
Bonnie and Clyde didn't work alone. Thelma and Louise didn't work alone. And they were the best.
Matilda, why are you doing this to me? I've been nothing but nice to you. I even saved your life yesterday, right outside the door.
Right. So now you're responsible for it. If you saved my life, you must have saved it for a good reason. If you throw me out now, it's like you never opened your door. Like you let me die right there in front of it. But you did open it. So,
Attila,
if you don't help me, I'll die tonight. I can feel it. And I don't want to die tonight.
Attila, you're just a little girl, so don't take it badly, but I don't think you could do it. I'm sorry.
How's that?
There's a great South Park setup here. Just somebody walking their dog at the park and like catching a string.
The dog just goes. Yeah, but fuck it. I'm sorry, it was a long clip, but how fucking cool was that? You know, that she unloads the gun there. But great dialogue in between.
Yeah.
With the like, I'm gonna die tonight if you let me go. You must have saved my life for a reason. Like, just really strong dialogue. Again, for maybe she should have been 14 because 12 is like, it's hard to believe that a 12-year-old can be this good at manipulating even a simpleton. You know.
Yeah.
But it's amazing what she's doing. You know.
There are very smart ones out there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Let's throw it to number
1, Daddy.
You know what? Fuck it.
Sent me.
Nobody sent me. I do business for myself.
So this is something personal, is it? What filthy piece of shit did I do now?
You killed my brother.
I'm sorry. And you want to join him? It's always the same thing. It's when you start to become really afraid of death that you learn to appreciate life. Do you like life, sweetheart?
Yes.
That's good. Because I take no pleasure in taking a life if it's from a person who doesn't care about it.
Take back what I said about the soundtrack because I wasn't watching it with headphones like I normally do, and it actually does really set.
Yeah, the sound design. Oh god.
But
It's when you're watching it on like the TV at a lower volume because everybody's sleeping. It didn't hit
You
me
can
the same
hear
way
the
as it's
violin.
hitting me. Yeah, it hits me in the headphones a little better.
This clip starts right after. Like, I wanted this to be like a 3-minute clip because as soon as Matilda goes to deliver the pizza or whatever, the Italian food to Stan, and she stops into the bathroom to get prepared to shoot him. But as soon as she goes over to the window, he closes the door behind her. There's like a very strong 3 to 4 minutes where he makes like this wild analogy about the Italian food and who like what assassin sent this unassuming little girl to kill him, and then like asks her everything she knows about Italian food, and while you're at it, tell me about the chef that prepared it for me, as if to say like who hired you to kill me, which is really cool. But that's right before this clip starts, and then he's like, "Which filthy piece of shit did I do now?" Like, which is just cool, like a cool dialogue way to say like who did I kill that you're upset about once he realizes it's personal.
Yeah.
And then there's this seesaw of like forgiveness. No, I'm gonna kill you. No, I'm gonna forgive you. No, I'm gonna kill you. And you're like just so tense in these moments where his dialogue is making you wonder whether or not he intends to kill her right there in the bathroom, which ultimately I think he did.
Yeah.
But when he's like, do you value life? And you think that her way of getting out of being killed is by saying yes. He throws it back at us by saying good, because I don't get any joy out of taking the life of somebody who doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
He's saying like, I cannot wait to kill you because you love life. Like that's how fucked up he is.
Yep. Great.
You know,
Perfect.
So just
very consistent.
Yeah, super good dialogue. So that's what we have there. Let's throw it to test number 4. This is the best production.
Test number 5, the best production.
Nice editing.
All right, I'm gonna just say all good choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't nail down one thing that I liked more than anything else. I'm gonna do a little history and then talk about the movie and then talk about what came after. So Luc Besson is the director. He made Nikita, which I actually recommended on the pod before. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah. Excuse me.
And this is his bigger budget, barely, but bigger star powered follow up, and it nearly happens in the same universe as Nikita. Matter of fact, Jean Reno plays a hitman in Nikita. So
Cool.
yeah. Anyway, first of all, when your source material is that good, like coming from that, you'd think the expectation that you won't achieve something even better, but he totally did. The writing, the camera work, the acting, obviously, the sound design, I really thought was excellent. Like when the TV switches to cartoon, right? Like the tension was high, and you jump, like just little things like that were so perfect. And the mixture of drama, action, and humor, you just don't find that in too many movies out there. And just to flash back one last time, Forrest Gump won Best Picture that year, and I'll never forgive the Academy because Shawshank, Professional, Pulp Fiction, Legends of the Fall, Dumb and Dumber, Clerks, and Ed Wood all came out that year.
Yeah,
and
that's fucking crazy.
They were all better than Forrest Gump, but that year for movies, wow! I mean, it's just
unbelievable.
Amazing.
What was it? 94.
Yeah, that was my last year high school, first year college.
That was the year for movies
and Toy Story, I think.
Yeah. That was the year for movies that 1991 was for music. You had like Soundgarden, Super Unknown, Metallica's Black Album, Nirvana's Nevermind, Pearl Jam's 10. Like it was a fucking same kind of year for movies that it was for music.
So Luc Besson had written a script for a sequel to this, or should I say a follow-up? Like Nikita was his first hitman story.
Yeah.
Then it was going to be this, and then they were going to have a third one where Natalie Portman would play an older version of herself, but they had to wait to make the movie because they wanted her to actually be older. But in the meantime, the director left that film company to start his own studio, and that old film company were pretty much unhappy that he left, so they wouldn't release the rights to the sequel. So he ended up making something called Colombiana in 2011, which is basically the same premise. The girl's growing up, her family was killed by drug dealers, she becomes a cleaner, but it's set in Colombia instead of New York City, Paris thing.
Yeah. Is it good?
So it's on my list. I want to see it.
Oh, okay. All
right.
Cool.
I'm not
Well,
seeing
thank
it.
you.
I want to see it.
All good choices. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. Except I do have, I deducted it down to a 96. Rob said 95. I was like, yeah, maybe a 96. I'll tell you behind the catch-all. Let's just wait for that while we go to test number 5. This is the best acting.
Test number 6. The best acting.
I like that we haven't done anything about these outdated bumpers in like 4 good movies.
Because like, you gotta think about it I don't think about it for weeks. Then it's like, oh shit, I should have done that, and then I didn't, and I won't.
Yeah, 9 or 10 episodes later into our 1400 episode run. All right, this is number 1. cigarette
with an S.
Oh, there's that music.
Hi.
The classic Supo music.
Why did you hide a cigarette?
This building's full of rats. I didn't want my old man to find out. Got enough problems.
What happened?
I fell off my bike. Hey. Don't tell my dad about the cigarette, okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I just got lost in that soundtrack again. I'm just like, I am mesmerized by it. Honestly, I could like just watch like whales swimming on my ceiling from a projector and listen to that for hours on end.
In my opinion, that scene, the scene's sound design sounded like a French movie. Like that was definitely made by a French director. Like there was no question.
Mm-hmm. And you know, Jean Reno, Luc Besson makes sense. So let's go to number 2. This is Stopped.
We said noon. I've got 1 minute past. You don't like Beethoven. You don't know what you're missing. Overtures like that get my juices flowing. So powerful. But after his openings, to be honest, he does tend to get a little fucking boring. That's why I stopped. Toss the apartment.
Yeah.
Toss the apartment.
He's the best.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Fucking love Gary Oldman. Let's go on now to number 3. This is 6D. Call this a YouTube. Go check us out on YouTube if you want to do this.
Or Spotify.
The worst movie ever made.
Or Spotify.
Please open the door. Please.
Okay. All right. Is there a better scene in a movie than that? Bob's hyping me up. Bob says amazing over there. I think that's what I heard. Like this, I could not believe the fucking tension. I've seen this movie like 12 times. I can't believe the tension that they built into this scene. Yeah. It is beautiful. It's movie making at its finest.
Speaking of choices, they don't show him open the door. They show the light hitting her face.
Yes,
showing one that. Second, it lights up the tears. You get to see her reaction. Oh, she's amazing for it.
And she's so good.
She's
so fucking good.
Makes me wish I discovered like my love for music a little younger, so I could actually be like that competent by the time I was her age.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Or anything, skateboarding, Yahtzee, whatever. Like.
Yeah, whatever you're
into.
It's
proof that if you don't waste your fucking time when you're a kid, you could like do great things before you're fucking even through adolescence.
Yeah. It's true, and she proves it. But let's give it to Jean Reno too. Is this the finest peephole acting we've seen in any movie so far?
Yeah.
Well, isn't he holding the gun like different spots? Like,
yeah. Well, he does immediately after this because the goon comes up to the door.
That's
suspicious
okay.
And he
because he heard
also
about the
knows
little girl.
he's smart enough to realize that it will throw the light, so he actually has a thing to open up to look through the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That little
But
detail I
but
liked.
as Natalie Portman's approaching, Leon realizes that what she's doing, her move is to pretend like nothing happened in her apartment. She's gonna come act like I'm her family.
Yeah.
To get out of this, and then he has to think am I gonna let her in? Are they gonna kill her if I don't open the door? And somehow in his reactions to her approaching the door and knocking on the door, you get all of that with no words.
Yeah.
You just know exactly what he's thinking by how he's acting against the door into a peephole, and it's the best peephole acting I think I've ever seen. Which I've seen a lot of people acting in my time.
Yeah.
And it's consistent with No Women, No Kids. It's very it all plays directly into his character sketch.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's start to the one you had to know was gonna rear its very beautiful head in this podcast. If you've ever seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about already. If you don't, you're a fucking idiot. Number 4. This is shit. And I forgive you.
Shit. Alpha team. Man down, man down. I told you. Manny. Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's not funny at all. And how many actors could have pulled that off? That should be a comedy line. It's not at all. You are Jesus fucking Christ, this guy is fucking insane.
I mean, no offense, Rob, but Cage would have fucked that up.
Yeah.
I don't have an hour right now, Bob, but agree to disagree.
All right, fair enough. Let's agree to disagree. I'm not gonna express my opinion on that one way or the other. Let's throw it to fact or no fact.
I don't have a. Nah, it's regular bumpers now, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Paper covers rock to lose the queen.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is fact or no fact.
Last
I love
time
that
we bang
bumper.
out to that one.
I love that bumper, except for the opening because I hate Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a bit of a stretch for the rhyme, but the movie is called Leon the Professional, and my rhyme is something we agree on. It's exceptional.
Agree on.
Yeah. Agree on.
I did.
Jack Rabbit slapped the bear.
All right. So once again, this is the regular fact or no fact, where I got 5 things and one's a lie, and I gotta see if you guys will figure this one out. This is I think I did a good job on this one, but I also have secondary facts for every single one of these.
All right.
All right. First one. Christina Ricci was first offered the part of Matilda, but had shooting conflicts with Adam's family values and had to decline. Okay, second one. One of the members of Oldman's crew, the actor, went on to perish in the collapse of the World Trade Center towers in 9/11. Okay, third one. All of the interiors of Leon's apartment were shot in Paris, France. Okay, fourth one. 3 of the actors in this movie played a lead in a movie about JFK at some point in their career. And the last one. Director Luc Besson has stated that the relationship between Matilda and Leon were based on his relationship with his second wife.
Okay.
I know which one. I know which one Chris doesn't want to be true.
Jesus Christ.
So, back when I was a full-time editor for a pop culture site, I want to believe that somebody wrote about this movie and mentioned something about the relationship. I forget what they said, but I want to say number 5 might be true. I don't know for sure though. 3 actors played Leah in a JFK-based film at some point. I don't know. I don't care about Mr. Kennedy that much. Have that in my memory bank. Interiors of Leon's apartment were shot in Paris, France. Someone from Oldman's character's crew in the movie went on to perish 9/11. I mean, they're all plausible, and I think Christina Ricci's also, that's also plausible. I'm just not sure when Addams Family Values came out. I thought that was more like 96 or 97, but we don't research these things, so we actually have a chance to actually make a fool of ourselves.
It was 93.
Wow, really?
When it was released, yeah.
I don't know. I want to say number 3 is bullshit because like everything else, it was like set in like New York or like what it was like or any town USA type of deal, right?
I think it was New York.
So like it just seems unless like he just lived in Paris and they shot the interiors there to like save on like travel. It wouldn't make sense to have like the interior of that apartment set like elsewhere when everything else was so obviously like not Paris.
The director probably lives there, so maybe they shot it before he even came to the States to shoot the rest.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about that one smells funny, so I'm gonna like old milk aging on the windowsill. So I'm gonna say 3 is my lie.
Okay, I mean, it's a good guess.
I understand the French connection. I just don't think it's practical, based on what I know about the movie.
I sensed a little maybe Bob foolery going on when he was sort of throwing out the family values information, because this seemed like a situation where Bob like is defending it because he doesn't want you to choose it, but I don't know. I think at this point Bob like would actually. No, I think I'm giving myself too much credit because I think that you wouldn't throw that out there because you would know that if you started defending one, that one of us would pick up on that like bait in the water and go for it.
You put way too much thought into this, Chris.
Yeah, way too much thought.
So
you don't actually win anything, Chris.
Oh, I do. Every week. Every week, I get a fan email to my personal email, or somebody will high-five me on the street and say, "Great job, Chris." They'll hand me a little mug that says "You're number one," or they'll give me a $10 gift card to Dunkin' because I won this week again.
If I
this
travel
shit happens
there,
all the time.
we're gonna make a little compilation video of that happening.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll put it on as one of our trailers.
Can't wait to see you.
Intros.
Can't wait to see you. All right, so let's get another $10 Dunkin' gift card with a win this week. I as much as I feel like number 1 may now be the answer because you did the reverse defense, I'm gonna go with number 5 because you're right. That cannot be true in my mind. I will fall on the sword even if that is true. I have to pick it.
Okay. Well, you lost because number 1 was
God damn it. That's disgusting.
She did audition. Christina Ricci did audition, but she did not get the part. She lost hands down to Portman. So get this, man.
Got me.
You remember Benny? He was the smooth-headed guy who almost shot one of the other crew members in the apartment.
Yeah.
He ended up being a member of the New York Fire Department, Ladder Company 21, and courageously he died in the collapse of the Trade Center. Yeah. Tragedy. All the interiors were shot in Paris, and all of the shots of the outside corridor of the apartment were shot 6 weeks earlier in New York.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. 3 of the actors in the movie did play a lead. Natalie Portman played Jackie Kennedy in Jackie.
Kennedy, I remember.
Gary Oldman played Lee Harvey Oswald in JFK, and Danny Aiello played Jack Ruby in Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
And last one, here's the fact. Oh my God. Okay. So his second wife, who he met when she was 12 and he was 29, he got her pregnant at 15, and they married at 16. Then, when she turned 20, he left her for a 21-year-old Mila Jovovich.
Holy
So,
shit.
but we're allowed to celebrate this movie, but I can't listen to Brand New publicly.
This is the thing.
Allegations.
This is the whole thing with I always forget his name. The guy that made Rosemary's Baby and The Tenant. I can't think of his name. But he's like banned from the United States because of his relationship with little kids. But his movies are incredible. He made The Pianist. Incredible, incredible movies. Yeah, he did. I can't think of his name, of course. I always forget his name. But anyway, Chris, good job being right and not picking the right one.
Yeah, thank you. It's a moral victory for Chris. It is. I'll take the lap. Yeah, thank you. Because it was between 1 or 5, but my instincts were like, be the right guy, be the guy that everybody wants to cheer for.
I'll get you a Tim Hortons gift card because you can't use it in the States.
Nice.
Sweet. All right, let's throw it to the very interesting catch-all.
The catch-all. Hey, Chris. Do you think Natalie Portman was an industry plant?
Okay.
In Leon the Professional? An industry plant? Because the plant behind you, that's in reference to the movie.
Oh.
You think she's an industry plant?
Oh, you're talking about this here, this plant that I have this week.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You kept saying plant, and I was like, what plant? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Are you one of those people?
Yeah, okay. So
are you one of those people that call their plant by a female's name? Are you that kind of person?
Her name is Lucy. Okay.
All right.
Let me give you a little backstory. Okay. I don't spray her and pet her as often as as Leon does. But this is actually inspired by Leon the Professional, one of my favorite movies. I got a plant, and his name was Bruce. I called him Bruce the Spruce. I know it's not a spruce, right? It's obviously not a spruce. It's like devil's ivy or something. You can't
Bruce Springsteen. Yeah.
Like if you forget to water this for a week, you're good.
Yeah.
No big deal. They live, But this is Lucy. This is like my 2.0 devil's ivy. My first was Bruce. What happened was I got this plant inspired by Erin bringing it to my house because she had one when she lived with her parents and brought it, and I was like, I'm gonna take care of this plant. It's gonna be my plant now. Yeah. So I started taking care of Bruce. I named it Bruce. She didn't have a name for it, so I was like, Bruce the Spruce. Start watering this thing. Kind of get obsessed with keeping it healthy.
Yeah.
Same way Jean Reno does in Leon the Professional. Just thought it'd be kind of a cool thing to have my own plant. It's a very low maintenance pet, so to speak.
Yeah.
I go on vacation for a couple of weeks with my wife for our honeymoon, and I say to my sister, hey, can you just go to my fucking house and water my plant once or twice while I'm gone? Just make sure Bruce is good to go. Hang out with my dog, live with my dog in my my part of the house. You have this whole nice setup. Anyway, I come back 2 weeks later. Bruce is dead. Not revivable dead. Like every single stem is just brown and shriveled, and I feed it water. It had been a couple of years of me tending to this plant named Bruce.
This Bruce.
Often. Yeah. I cared about it. So I literally cried when Bruce was dead when I got home because my sister killed it. Paid no attention to it. Sorry, Danny, it's true. You killed my plant.
If you have a rebuttal, email us at www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
So Aaron got me, my 2.0. This is Lucy behind me. I've had it for, I don't know, 9 years or something since. 8 years. When we got married 10 years ago, so 9 years ago. I got this.
All right.
I want to see that email. It just says, you baby, love Danny.
Yeah, no, she's going to be like, oh my God, I am so sorry. I really didn't mean to kill your plant, because she still feels bad about it, and you should.
And then you find the photo album on her camera reel. It's just like Chris's plant killing party.
Just pouring bleach on it. I have always wondered how she fucking killed it. In 2 weeks, it's Devil's Ivy. You have to, it was like she was pouring bleach on it, honestly. What did you do, Danielle?
All right.
Poor Bruce.
Back to the catch-all.
All right. Anyway. My number 5.
Billiard comes up.
I'm wondering, was the dope cut to begin with?
Totally.
Imagine this.
He had a bag. He had the exact amount they were missing stowed away.
Yeah.
Oh.
But go with your theory. I want to hear it. Maybe there's something more to it.
See, I thought he was holding on to the dope. That was all the dope. That wasn't 10% of the dope. That was all the dope. They just didn't know where he put it. But when they tested it, when he was like willing to have them in to test the dope, and it tested 90%, he actually didn't cut it at all. He didn't put baking soda in it or whatever you do when you're trying to cut cocaine. They gave it to him like that as a device for killing him or blaming him for the dope that's cut when they go.
No, he definitely cut it because when he's getting all fresh with his wife, saying why can't work from home, he says under his breath, "I think I really messed up. I think I really messed up." Like he fesses up to it to her.
Oh,
does he?
You've seen it how many times?
Yeah, well, you know what? We can't all be minute detail.
No,
okay.
I remember I definitely didn't catch that the first time I saw it, but at some point I heard that and I'm like, oh, so he's definitely guilty. Like I said, justice is served on so many levels. Maybe not everyone deserved to die, but everyone who did something fucked up, even Leon, because he did kill a lot of people.
Yeah, he did.
They suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. All right, go ahead, Bob.
Okay, speaking of his wife, she played Audrey in the movie Little Shop of Horrors, and apparently she wore the almost the identical outfit but the actual same wig as she did in Little Shop of Horrors. Like it was the same outfit, and yeah. Then she gets blasted in the tub. Yeah, pretty close.
I mean, obviously not. You know what I love for my number 4 is every time that the mob member has Leon visit him, he says, "Hey, Manolo, take the kids into the back. Hey, Manolo, bring me a coffee. Hey, Manolo, bring me some milk." Like Manolo, poor guy, is just like errand boy 1A, and there's like 8 subtle Manolos mentions in the movie where Manolo has to do like these little tasks and I just love that as like a little side story.
Interesting. So this takes place over many days, right? But Gary Oldman's character is never seen wearing anything besides his beige suit and white shirt.
Yeah, he is pretty drugged out.
Yeah.
It's either he has a closet full of them or he just wears the same shit every day.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that choice. I think that was cool.
Yeah.
It's almost like bad men wear a certain color and good men wear a certain color. I think it's like that's part of him. Is that ratty suit?
Yeah, I like that. Which he is super pissed about having shot.
I was about to say, to your point, Bob, I don't think his suit is ruined throughout the rest of the movie, so that leads me to believe that he probably has several.
Right. Possibly.
True.
Because he got blood all over a beige suit, right?
Right. True.
Maybe this is a good time for a certain abuser. The short one.
Number 1? Who's number 1?
The short one.
Hey, Dan, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's dead. What are you doing?
You're ruining my suit.
I know, but he's dead. He's a piece of meat. Forget about it. Calm down. I'm calm.
Yeah. That one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he ruined my suit. Like when the suit gets shot through, like he like goes into like rage level number 5, you know, like he was already tearing through the house killing everybody, but then he goes completely insane when his suit gets shot. Like he gets so reckless, it's kind of fun. And then
overkill.
Yeah, exactly. My number 3. Okay, so now I'm actually going to be talking shit about the movie a little bit. That's why I'm taking a few points off. I'm not sure that paintballs are traveling like bullets from a roof in Manhattan to Central Park, or whatever the distance is.
I understand the plot device, but yeah, I'd imagine getting hit with a paintball shot out of a gun of that caliber would still fucking like break skin and like cause some sort of damage to a person. It's a projectile.
I think the air resistance on a paintball is going to push it into the ground.
Oh yeah,
or way left or way right, or you can't be accurate with a paintball the way you can with a bullet.
I don't think it's a traditional like you and your friends out paintballing paintball. It had to be something more for like an assassin's target practice. It had to be something different, like a different shape. But
yeah,
and the guy did have a full tracksuit on, so as far as piercing skin goes,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just not sure a paintball is gonna like of any shape. A thing full of paint instead of lead is going to travel that distance that accurately.
Right.
Just saying.
I didn't put much thought into it.
I don't know enough, so I'll say I'll bow out.
Hey, you're the math teacher, Bob.
I'm
and
not
it
a math
sounds
teacher.
like you like this movie even more than I do.
Computer science.
You never get that right.
He's the math teacher. Everybody knows it.
I am a certified math teacher. I just don't do it full time. Anyway, this is a really small fact, but Portman played a 12-year-old. She was actually only 11. That's how good she is.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was her motion picture debut at 11 years old.
Yeah.
And Luc Besson was in casting like, man, she's hot.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably.
Which is rather bothersome for me. All right, let's throw it to a clip. I'm going to dunk on this movie a little bit more. Let's drop it from a 98 now to a 97. This is Snafu.
You've been really great with me, Leon. And they're not always like that.
Yeah, okay, so we don't know in the audio version what just happened, do we? I guess I'm going to have to scroll over to YouTube and smash our subscribe button or gently caress it or whatever they want to do. Or, like Bob pointed out before, check out our Spotify. What happens there? Leon throws a blanket, completely folded onto...
yeah, the continuity error.
It's a continuity error. So Leon throws a folded blanket onto Matilda.
Perfectly folded, like this big blanket.
Yeah, it is like, Leon, the professional blanket folder, folded. And all of a sudden, they shoot back, like, it's all in sequence. They're both talking. They're having a conversation, so it's continual. And then she's just covered in the blanket, laying down like she's ready to sleep. About, I don't know, a half second later. It doesn't make any sense, and it really bugged me. So we'll drop it down to a 97 now after my couple of knocks. But I said 96, didn't I? So maybe I got one more knock coming. Let's throw it to Bob first, though.
Well, I thought we redeemed one because he actually did cut the drugs, so I had to eliminate that knock.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe we're up to a 97 at this point.
Okay, so as many of the interior scenes were filmed in France. For budgetary reasons, in the scene where the DEA team are waiting outside Leon and Matilda's hotel room and grab her, all of them are wearing ski masks throughout this scene. Remember that? Like at the end?
Yeah.
Here's why. They were all French actors and couldn't speak a word of English. So they had the ski masks on. They spoke all their dialogue in French, and then it was dubbed over to American voices at the end.
It's a good dub job.
Yeah. And I when I read that, I'm like, makes perfect sense now because of how much French there was in this movie. I thought that was a cool little fact.
Plus, like, it makes them look a little dirty. They don't look super official with ski masks on, which I'm cool with because they're all dirty cops.
Yeah.
Anyway, my number one, Daddy. It makes sense that she would turn the TV to Transformers at home by, pressing, like, either plugging in the channel into the controller while her sister is exercising, or pressing, like, an early, like, back button or reverse, like, go back to the channel you were at. But when she turns the television on at Leon's house, it goes to Transformers, which I don't know. Maybe they don't want to have the tiny detail of her changing the channel, but that is to suggest either she's a magician or Leon was watching Transformers, which he wasn't.
Well, they're more than meets
Leon
the eye.
is. They what?
They're more than meets the eye.
Well, here's my argument. Cartoons like that were on regular network channels.
Syndication.
So last time he watched TV, it could have been some other show at night.
Yeah.
But on Saturday morning, it was Transformers.
Everything was by Ted Turner. It just happened to be one of his like syndication networks.
And if it was that kind of TV, that's antenna, and they only have 3 channels. And the sister could have been watching a videotape, and then she just switched the source of the TV from videotape to TV, and then the sister switched it back.
So we're at 98 now, Chris.
No, we're still on the 97. Bob, come on.
No, it's good.
So is that both? You guys both.
So your argument is, come on, and I had a lot of other things to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so there were 3 channels at most. You're saying,
and they all showed
3
Saturday morning cartoons. They all showed Saturday morning cartoons.
Syndication. It's just a syndication network that happens to have the same block of program.
They had cartoons in the morning. They had news and soap operas at lunch. They had game shows after that. Then they had the news at night. Then they had all the sitcoms after that.
That's fair.
And late at night, they showed old movies, and that's the last thing that Leon watched.
A Gene Kelly film.
He was watching a 3-hour infomercial about milk.
I can't believe no one's talked about the pig puppet or the guessing who each other are. Like that was all very
was great.
That was all very French, also like very like cheesy French stuff, but it just works.
Yeah,
so
but
well
it works. It works incredibly well. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm still not fucking with your explanation. It's total bullshit. But go ahead, Bob.
My last one I already mentioned, but I'll give the details. In Luc Besson's first film, Nikita, Jean Reno plays a cleaner named Victor, but nearly identical to Leon. He even said "no women, no kids" in Nikita.
Yeah.
But in Nikita, he is more of a stone cold killer. He is not he doesn't have a soft spot, and he's not dim. He's extremely efficient and smart.
Cool.
And yeah, you don't see a sympathetic side to him.
All right,
but
I mean, we almost didn't see a sympathetic sign from Leon either, because he almost blew Matilda away in the middle of the night. He woke up from his chair, loaded his gun, cocked it, and put it to her head, and then decided not to shoot her.
Yeah.
Nikita is Nikita is a very different story. That's why I think you should watch it. It's nothing even close to this.
I will. Yeah.
Really, and she's good looking
and older.
Yes, exactly. She's
that was both your 5, right?
Yeah, that's all I had.
Here's my pill theory. The capsules, they are green and yellow, right?
Yes.
What are 2 things that are similar to each other that both respectively have those colors?
Lemon and lime.
Lemon and lime. Okay. Now we know there's drugs, right?
Yeah.
What do lemon and lime both have?
Sour?
Citric acid, vitamin C.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. All right. And what does he do after taking the pill?
Shudders.
He snaps his back and his neck. Now, if you know, I've never done an LSD in my life because I am afraid to. But if you do enough when you're younger, it stores in your spine and like your spinal column.
Is that
and
fact?
It's not unheard of for certain people to, when they crack their backs, some of that kind of makes its way back into their bloodstream and they start tripping mildly. I'm wondering if maybe he was taking like a supplement, like a vitamin C supplement, before cracking his back so he can kind of like ride that little flashback before going into fucking berserk mode.
I like it.
I don't know. Just something I thought about. Yeah. Yeah.
Although his character might, as a younger person, who knows? but the character doesn't seem like he likes to be out of control and would take a substance like that.
Yeah, but like, when you have like a little flashback and you're still lucid, you just like, things get a little wavy, and like he gets a little
not.
wavy.
I mean, originally in the first place, taking it.
Oh,
as a
yeah,
photo,
that's a good point.
But if he's younger, that's different.
Yeah, we don't know.
And he ends up working for the DEA. Maybe he had an interest in drugs, and then that's what led to his DEA career, which he's corrupt anyway. So
very good call.
Food for thought.
Yeah, he got you there. Listen, I'm
with him. I'm just not with the TV thing.
Look, I appreciate you carrying the sword for this movie because I love it so much. But like, man, Bob is like just showing his bias so hard this episode. It's great. You just don't like Bob is like our straight man most of the time, where like he gives us the right call. Usually, you don't hear this level of bias from his side so much. You know? Like Rob is like Y2K, amazing. I love it.
I like that you just said usually he gives the right call.
yeah.
Which,
yeah.
We all know what that means.
Which he's doing this episode.
Hey, so what we're watching, right?
Yeah, we're running almost long for a good movie.
Yeah.
I spend most of my free time watching movies because I feel like at any moment
We're all gonna die.
this is what we're watching.
Dick.
I'm gonna mention this channel again. I'm watching Veritasium. I've mentioned it before.
At the Flat Earth
if
guy.
you like science, like if you're a math teacher,
yeah,
and you like science, then you should check out Veritasium, Bob. Like look him up. He has 17 million subscribers on YouTube.
Includes computer science, right?
Well, not for Bob because he's a math teacher, but like if you're a computer scientist or something.
Hit him with the dab.
Yeah. Check this out. I've mentioned it before. His channel is just so fun.
YouTube.
Yep. Otherwise, I'm about to start again. Mindhunter, seasons 1 and 2 on Netflix.
So fucking good.
I know. I'm just praying to God. Like I've heard rumors about it season 3, but yeah,
Fincher's confirmed. It's a period piece, and it's all like shot in the 60s and 70s. I mean, they have cars from the 50s because people drove old cars around. They can't afford like all the fucking automobiles for the fucking on location shit.
Yeah,
is what it comes down to.
Well, then don't shoot scenes in the car and give it to me anyway.
It's like you're walking down the street, you're gonna see a bunch of cars. You can't have like a '97 Nissan Altima on the road.
Then go shoot in France, like they did for this one.
Or like in Neil Breen, they don't have to show what cars were driving because everyone froze frame, but the cars were whizzing by so fast you couldn't tell what kind of cars.
Couldn't tell what kind it was. Yeah, it might as well have been 1960.
It was a timeless movie.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, those are the two. So go ahead, Bob.
So I watched a movie called Filth from 2013.
Filth.
Right.
You guys aware? James McAvoy is the lead, and
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
He's the only recognizable face. Bunch of Scottish actors. It's set in Scotland. Bruce is the main character. That's who McAvoy plays. He's up for promotion to chief inspector or whatever, above detective, and he's out to sabotage all the other detectives because they're all up for the position while investigating this murder case. Just like a Japanese student gets murdered by a bunch of thugs.
Yeah.
But he's also got this sketchy home life that everyone assumes is perfect, but it really doesn't even exist. And it's just a twisted tale. And there's so much sex and drugs and language. Like the movie title says, it's filth. If you can tolerate like Tarantino at his worst, you might be ready for this. Like it's rough.
Cool.
Like the opening scene is McAvoy taking a kid's balloon and just letting it go and then flicking him off. Like,
all right, fair enough.
A little kid, and it's pretty good. It's a little rough, but it's pretty good. It's entertaining. The accents are really hard to get through though. You have to like have subtitles on.
Right.
Like it's like watching the first Mad Max. So you aren't necessarily sure what everyone's saying.
Right.
Because they use slang too.
You mentioned the lead character like flipping off a kid as he like takes his balloon away and like throws it into the sky or whatever. Red One, which I mentioned that I watched around Christmas time.
I want to see that.
Chris Evans does the exact same fucking thing to open the movie.
I'm guessing it was an homage. Yeah.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah.
And I didn't see anything else on TV, but I did see the Lindas on Saturday. I already had the shirt. I didn't buy the shirt at the show, but I got to meet their moms at the merch table because I got my kids both hats.
Sick.
It's so tight. For
the drummer's insane, dude. For like a little, not to be like a little girl, like a little like a Stacy-sized woman, like she's fucking relentless.
They're so young.
Cool.
They're just they're like 18, 19, and they've been playing for my God, like 7 years already, maybe 8 years, and they must rehearse and play so much together because they were not a flaw in their set.
She has like Zach Hill chops on the drums. Like
it sounded like listening to a record. Like it sounded just like the recording. My only detraction from the show was their banter was very rehearsed as well.
No.
And as a person watching a show, I was like, you could just totally tell. But they're kids; they'll figure it out.
It makes sense when you like gotta do the same thing every night and like you just run out of shit to say. Yeah, I got that. All right, I finally watched Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie, and my mileage varies on Tim and Eric stuff. This was I gave it like a 3 out of 5 stars. You know, it's just like they're really good at the awkward humor, but they tried doing a lot of gross out humor, and it wasn't on brand for them. And it was a little over ambitious for what they were trying to do. There's genuine laugh out loud moments, but like their style of delivery does not lend itself well to feature length film.
I can see that.
And then also, for the first time as an adult, like I saw this when it came out when I was like, probably like 12. I rewatched The Frailty with Bill Paxton and Matthew McConaughey. Or as Frailty, not The Frailty. So fucking good. And that's it. Chris, I lost you. You're gone.
Timing.
Yeah, nothing.
He just said "oh," so he realized something.
You're coming through. You're coming through. There we go.
Oh my God, why are you doing that?
Can you just like talk like a normal person for a second?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Okay.
All right, cool.
Asshole.
There is no offensive minigame.
No offensive minigame. All right.
Okay. So do you want to play the bump here or just throw it to our bad credit names?
Let's do the credit names. And you have this amazing ability, like when we're trying to figure out your audio issues, like you'll be like, you'll move your lips like once and then like back away from the microphone and you'll do it for like a minute and a half. It's like, just fucking sing the alphabet or some fucking shit too. Keep it going so we can see so we can
what a douche.
Kahneman and Booth. Johnny Limo. Willie One Blood. Matt DeMatt. Supreme Macaroni Company. Gerard Lamp. Peaches Dolan. And Chevalier Cayman.
All right. Cool.
Chevalier Cayman is the Prince of Mashed Potatoes.
Oh.
Apparently, I cut that off.
And Supreme Macaroni, what was it?
Was it like a sponsor or something?
It was like one of those like special thanks or like giving credit to like Chevalier Cayman, the Prince of Mashed Potatoes. Just thought I'd mention it. But yeah, Supreme Macaroni Company lent the like Italian deli that they shot some of the scenes in.
All right.
I just thought it was really funny that Supreme Macaroni Company was mentioned
in the credits. Yeah.
Yeah. So threw that in there. So anyway, let's throw it to the results because we do not have a movie comparison.
All right.
Pitch Team 5-star. Oh, do you want to do a bumper for this?
No.
We don't have to.
No, we're good. It's just
yeah. Fuck it. Pitch Team 5.
All right.
What works well? I mean everything.
Yep.
I say fucking everything. Everything. Dialogue, like super good. What do you want to?
Fantastic. Zero fat.
Zero fat.
Yep.
Zero fat.
Oh wow, that pulls a fucking almost nearly a clean sweep. God damn. All right, good. Go on.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Production, all good choices.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're saying. Yeah, we agree. Acting, nearly perfect, impeccable.
Yeah, impeccable. Yeah,
Impeccable.
salubrious.
Professional.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Professional. Very nice stuff. And then demerits. Nope.
None. Yeah.
Like it.
Blanket.
Blanket.
Blanket
Yeah.
demerits. Next week, Rob, what are we doing?
Baby Geniuses beat out The Fanatic 76-24.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
And Baby Geniuses came out 5 years after this. I always love when a really shitty movie comes out after a really good one.
That's a good way to start a season because this cleanses the palate. We set our expectations and like wham, Neil Breen. You know.
I accidentally watched a Mystery Science Theater last night after the poll was already out, and the movie I watched is my next poll choice. It's perfect for our show.
Okay, cool.
It's 80s bullshit.
Nice. Love 80s
Can't go wrong with that.
But 90s bullshit for next week. Baby Geniuses. Rob, why don't you plug us and throw it to Bob for his last word?
Yeah. You can reach us at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Everything that you would possibly want to click on is there. There's little logos that take you to Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Instagram, and TikTok. YouTube's been really a bunch of dicks about the copyrights lately. There's a whole verification process. I gave them my ID. They have my driver's license now, but apparently you can't if your dispute gets canceled, which it does sometimes, to escalate it to an appeal, you need to be verified. And I've gone through the process 2 weeks ago. They have not completed the process. It's not user error. It's YouTube error. We have video on Spotify now, so just go there. Even if it's not the premium, if you gotta watch a couple ads, that's fine. We don't make any money off that. We're not trying to coerce you.
Yeah, that's true. We don't.
We're not trying to sell you things like hymns for erectile dysfunction. We're sponsored by milk, guys. Okay. www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you again.
Milk.
To our milk.
Check your notes. Yes.
Thank you again. Milk. Yeah, we appreciate it. I forgot to write that down.
All right, Bob, what's your last word?
You.
I'm going to look Chris in the eye when I say this. Transformers.
Mother meets the eye.
Fuck that.
Can you say that we made milk money this episode?
Nice. Thanks, Shay. Thank you, Shmave. My jealous.
Crumb. Thank you, Crumb.
Thank you.
The person that had a heart out in the middle of our show. Ever? Crumb.
Oh.
I bet you her career's going great. All right. See you, Jelly School. I have a hard out at 8:32. Sorry.